So I want to make a video after, I think I'm about halfway done with this book. About halfway done. It's Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. And he's really pronunciating and hell-bent on being in the now. And I wanted to get on here and kind of like not discuss, but talk about my findings of what being in the here and now means to me. Being in the here and now means just being immersely. No, it's not the word I'm looking for. Intensely. I can't figure out the word, but we're going to say intensely. Intensely observing your surroundings. And from being in the here and now, that's how I created the system that I created for myself, the philosophy. And I never got around to explain how I got to like each number, like how I add up the numbers to let me see what day the number is. But we'll go over that in another video. But being in the here and now, it allows me to have a streamline of consciousness come through me. It allows this part of my body to just be so clear and free to where I'm not bombarded with frequencies or static that keeps me in an unconscious state. And what I mean by that is I don't have background noise, and that background noise may be judgment, it may be unease, it may be anxiety. And it's not so apparent to where it's like that's clearly anxiety, that's clearly like unease. It's more so like I could be sitting here and I'm bored with myself. I'm like, what am I to do with myself? And that's not to say I've never felt that way before. I will have moments in my life to where I'll have a long stretch of just boredom. I have a long stretch of discontent in my life. Like, what am I doing with myself? And I'll keep finding myself in different situations to where my reality is reflecting back discontent to me and unease to me. And it's not until I'll really sit here and over a few days of questioning what is it that's causing said situation, like what is it in me, and not in a judgmental way but in an objective way. What is it in me that's unhappy? Like what is it that's causing my unhappiness basically? And Eckhart Tolle, he really words his words in a really good way to where it's like really cutthroat, like not cutthroat as in like fucked up, like that's hella rude, but cutthroat like he gets straight to the point. Like, no, being in here and the now is the only time you have. Being in the here and now is the only opportunity you have for any type of any transformation. When you're in the past or in the present, you're in an illusion. And what he means by that, and I'll go dig up some quotes if I have to, but what he means by that is when you're in the past, you're relying on memories and you're reacting in the now to the memories you have in your past, and like thus creating an illusion because that's not happening right now. One thing, and hold on, let me save that thought for the future. You're imagining something that hasn't happened yet, and you're creating anxiety because you want that to happen so bad, and you're kind of over enforcing your will on your own thoughts because you're not content with this present moment. You want to be where that future imagined scenario is. And again, it's imagined, it's not real, thus it's an illusion. And something he reiterates a lot, I ain't gonna lie, that's why I be cutting myself off because now I forgot what I was gonna say. But something he does reiterate is just when you are in the here and now, all of that like unease, that's what I was gonna say. When you are in the here and now, usually when you're thinking about the past, you're thinking about something that's like something that's happened to you, something that happened back then. Sometimes it can be pleasurable, but one thing he reiterates is what problem are you having right now? And I'm more so directing my focus to people who kind of relate to me and who can relate to me. And it was like when they think of the past, they think of like just situations that may irritate them, and it's just like a recurring loop. what problem are you having right now? And if you look around, and not like, oh, 5 minutes ago, an hour ago, but like if you take a step, if you like really take a step back from just everything you have going on with yourself, your life situations, if you take a step back and just look at what's around you, what problem are you having right now? And that was very profound to me because it set off a chain reaction in my head. It just kind of pushed me back into the now. What problem am I having right now? None. I'm reading my book. I'm not having no problems. I would say for the past couple weeks, maybe couple days, couple weeks, just in the past time, I've been having issues with my mind, just wanting to be somewhere else other than here. And it's creating an unease in me. Like, say I get off of work and I don't know what to do with myself because I'm used to always doing something. I'm used to always go, 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 because once I sit down, I don't like my present moment. I'm trying to create fun for myself. And I took myself out of the now and I put myself back into an unconscious state. I got more reactive. I got more identified with my emotions. I got more identified with my life situations. But him saying that, or me reading that, it's just like, you know, you're right. What is it that's happening right now that's causing me so much dis-ease and discomfort? And when I take a look at it, it's nothing. It's nothing. But when you live each individual moment like that, you then are, you build up a tolerance, but then you're creating your future at the same time. And when you're creating this future on this type of mindset of like, what is, if nothing is called, what is it that's causing me discomfort? And if you find nothing to cause you discomfort, that little background noise of anxiety and unease, it fades out, typically does, because you're so focused on what's in front of you, what's in front of your two eyes right now. And to me, I see that as, how can I say this? You're not creating your future based off of those feelings of discomfort, ease, anxiety, disappointment, and those negative feelings by constantly living in the past and being irritated by it, or constantly living in the future and being irritated by it because you're not there yet. You're not building your future off of that, because each now is a frame and is going to continuously keep going forward. And when you're not building your future based off of like irritation, you're building your future off the opposite, which is ease, which is comfort, which is joy, love, peace. And then now you've created a peaceful future for yourself without even realizing that that's what you were doing, because you were so focused on the now. And you're only going to peep that you made this future for yourself by taking a look at the past. And something he says is only reference the past and the future when it's relevant to the present moment. And to me, that was very, again, profound to me because of what I just said. You're not going to realize that you created this peaceful future for yourself until you realize that you've done it, which you're referencing the past on your present moment because you're taking a glimpse at what you've done. But right after you do that, you're going to go right back to the present moment and thus keep creating some more. I want to add in, I don't make videos to try to get people to see where I'm coming from or try to get people to be inspired. If you're inspired by what I say, that's great. But I'm more so documenting my findings of life, documenting my findings of myself, and documenting my findings of what is in the present moment or what I find to be true. Now, if somebody gets inspired by that, hey, I hope this will help you find peace within yourself and find the now in your own life, and you create what you create with that. But I don't make my videos to try to like inspire other people, if that makes sense. I want to read some passages, but I want to say this first. Eckhart Tolle says a lot in this book, up to where I've read so far, that time and the mind is what keeps people in suffering. When people identify with their mind, what their mind is talking about, and when people identify with time, they thus create just suffering for themselves, and the expectations they place on themselves and judgments they place on themselves, where they think they should be, where they think they should act, how they think they should be in the presence of other people or other things. It just creates suffering. But when you take away time and take away your self-identification from the mind, you are now entering an internal type of time, an internal type of dimension that doesn't operate on time. It just operates on what's happening in front of it. And he relates it to a tree. He was like, if you go up to and ask a tree, if there was no humans and no, like, nothing that could relate to time, if you go up and ask a tree what the time, and the tree gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about. The only time is now. I don't know. And I think he's right, because at one point in this year, I wasn't operating on a clock. Like, when I was really observing my philosophy, I was not operating on the clock. I just operated what happened right here and right now. And, like, of course, I would reference the clock when I need to do practical things and operate with the world. But as far as, like, my goals and, like, how I attend to myself and how I, like, operate within myself, I wasn't relying on a clock. I wasn't relying on dates. I wasn't relying on a time frame in order to get things done. And when I was in that state, I was very much at peace. I did not have expectations for myself in my own mind of what I think I should be doing, where I think I should be. It was a point in time where I quit my job, not knowing where I was gonna be at, and then I didn't know what was gonna happen for me after that. But I wasn't on a time frame like, okay, I need to have a job in this amount of time. I need to have this money in this amount of time. I was living in the moment and seeing what that moment had to offer me. I was really free. I was my freest. I mean, that's not to say I'm not still free. I'm still very much free. It's just sometimes you can get taken out of that. Things can happen to test to see where you are consciously, and I got swept up out of there. But it is nothing to go back to the now. The now is always here for you whenever you're ready to return back to the now. To conclude that story, 2 months later, well, we in April, we in May. 2 months later, without me over enforcing my will to try to find another job, the job came to me. The job came to me, and I got hired off of my, like, being in the now. They had a job opportunity, and I went up there and I showed my face and I presented myself as myself, and I was very much conscious of what I was doing. Conscious being I was attentive and I was just immersed in the now, and they liked what they saw and they hired me. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, when I'm not focused on what I think I should be doing, what I want, I attract it naturally, and it comes to me without me having to really do anything for it. All right, this is one of the first entries I would like to read. If there is no joy, ease, or lightness in what you are doing, it does not necessarily mean that you need to change what you are doing. It may be significant to change the how. How is always more important than what. See if you can give much more attention to the doing than to the result that you want to achieve through it. Give your fullest attention to whatever the moment presents. This implies that you also completely accept what is, because you cannot give your full attention to something at the same time resist it. As soon as you honor the present moment, all the unhappiness and struggle dissolve, and life begins to flow with joy and ease. When you do act out of present moment awareness, whatever you do becomes in bed with a sense of quality, care, and love, even the most simple action. So do not be concerned with the fruit of your action. Just give attention to the action itself. The fruit will come of its own accord. This is a powerful spiritual practice. There's a whatever that word is right there. I cannot pronounce that, so I'm not even gonna try. One of the most, one of the oldest and most beautiful spiritual teaching in existence, non-attachment to the fruit of your action, is called karma yoga. It is described as the path of concentrated action. So yeah, like I was just saying, and like with the job example, and that's just one of the many examples I've seen over, I want to say, my whole life. But really, if I wanted to like take a concentrated time where I've put into action of not attaching myself to the desired result in just the process, I would say over the past couple years. When I do not, and when I say I do not attach myself to the outcome of the situation, I just attach myself to what is happening right here, right now, and what I can do to improve the moment or continue the moment or prolong the moment. When I tell you the desired reaction just finds me, I don't even have to like work that hard. And I've gotten to the point where that's how I live my life. Now there are times where like that desire comes out of nowhere and just gets strong and be like, I want. I'm human. I'm human before all. But the universe finds a way to balance me again and be like, girl, relax. You can get what you want by relaxing. Like literally. Finding the joy in every moment, it will lead you to a lot of perspective changes about how you see your moments. It will immerse you into just a different dimension of like perspective, perception. There we go. And like he's right. Sometimes it's not necessarily like what you're doing, it's how you're doing it. So say if I like quit my job and I was just in a panic about finding a new one because of like, oh my God, how am I going to pay my bills? Oh my God. Like just really worrying about how I'm going to continue on with my life without money. And I wanted to say something else, but just money. I detached from money. Like, yeah, I still have bills, but like they will get paid. And there was at one point in my life where I didn't know where my next check was finna come from, but I know my bills are paid and they find a way to get paid every month. And like that kind of taught me, once I observed that pattern in my life, it taught me to detach myself from money and detach myself from working hard to get money. I don't have to work hard to get money. Money finds its way to me. And when I quit my job, I committed myself to living my life. I committed, because I knew I would find another one. I always find another job. I committed myself to having fun, and I committed myself to enjoying the present moment. And I'm gonna, like, yeah, I got in a job now, but that's not finna stop. I'm finna to enjoy my moments at the workplace and outside the workplace. Like, being in the present moment does not stop because I've accomplished my goal. Yeah, just finding joy in your process of doing things. Finding joy, like if you have a goal that you have set, finding the joy in the journey to getting to the end result. Being in that present moment, I promise you, you will find more golden nuggets than the actual achievement of the goal itself in that process. I promise. I'm a walking testimony. I'm a witness to it happening. I promise. And I want to continue on with this passage because it says something else that's very important. When the compulsive striving away from the now cease, the joy of being flows into everything you do. The moment your attention turns into the now, you feel a presence, a stillness, a peace. You no longer depend on the future for fulfillment and satisfaction. You don't look to it for salvation. Therefore, you are not attached to results. Neither failure nor success has the power to change your inner state of being. You have found the life underneath your life situation. I take that in as what it says, but I take what he said and like put it over my life and look at it my life through that lens as, yeah, who I've built myself up to be Now, universe, I'm talking to the universe now. I'm not wishing this on myself. But say if I was homeless, say I had $1,000,000, who I built myself up to be and who I'm continuously building myself up to be, that's not going to move me. Material gain, material loss, it's not going to move me. That peace, stillness, peace, I already said that. Joy, love, harmony, balance, that's where I find my fulfillment in. Not what I can gain, not what I lose. And what I lose is not going to take a shot at my self-worth, at my self-fulfillment, at my self-value. All it is the transformation. It transformed onto something else. Like my time with that thing it's ended now. It's the death and rebirth process. Energy does never die. It transmutes itself. And also, if my time with something expires, whether that be a person, place, or thing, I'm transmuting as well. So I'm moving on to my next alchemic process, and I'm going to get something to that equal value or better. And that's how I look at my life, and that's why I don't take losses hella personal, because it's never personal. It's never personal. And it is like my core values, win or losing, it's not going to change. Like, I'm still going to be who person at the end of the day. And like, when I have that non-attachment to life, when I have a non-attachment to life, it not only does it offer me great insight, but it allows me really to be at ease with the life currents, ups and downs and roundabouts and whatnot. It allows me to remain in the now and not let my ego or not let my mind try to get me to identify with it, or try to get me to go with the stories that it creates with itself, and not get me to feel a certain way about certain things because it went a certain way. I'm just in the here and the now, and I'm enjoying what I'm looking at. It's always something to enjoy. All right, I want to read one more entry from this book. All negativity is caused by an accumulation of psychological time and denial of the present. Unease, anxiety, tension, stress, worry, all forms of fear are caused by too much future and not enough presence. Guilt, regret, resentment, grievances, sadness, bitterness, and all forms of non-forgiveness are caused by too much past and not enough presence. You may find it hard to recognize that time is the cause of your suffering or your problems. You believe that they are caused by specific situations in your life, and seen from a conventional viewpoint, this is true. But until you have dealt with the basic problem-making dysfunction of the mind, its attachment to the past and future, and denial of the now, problems are actually interchangeable. If all your problems or perceived causes of sufferings or unhappiness were miraculously removed for you today, but you had not become more present, more conscious, you will soon find yourself with a similar set of problems or causes of suffering, like a shadow that follows you wherever you go. Ultimately, there is one problem: the time-bound mind itself. And I bring this to be true because, like I've been saying, when you're in the past too much, you're irritated. When you're in the future too much, you're irritated. And all of this is fear and non-forgiveness, like he just said. And the only time you have now to like work out your things from the past and work out your things from is now. You are creating your future as you're living in each moment. You are leaving behind the past as you're leaving each moment. And he also talks about surrendering. Surrendering is a big part in this. Surrendering to the death of each moment. Leave the past where it's at. Surrendering to the unknownness of the future. One way he says that you can relieve some of these feelings is just being present with your mind in a non-judgmental way, being present with yourself and observing your thoughts as they come and shining your conscious light on these thought patterns, on these thoughts. And he paints the picture of shining light on darkness. Darkness cannot thrive in light. And once you become conscious of it, then it just starts to unravel itself, because the ego feeds off the story it tells itself. The ego feeds off of you identifying with your mind, with the things you identify with. And some people are like deeply identified with their identities. And like it's gonna take them a while to like be like, no, I'm not my relationships. I'm not my job. I'm not my family's expectations of me. I'm not my religious expectations of me. I'm not the things of this world. I'm my essence. I am presence. I am consciousness. So for me, this means going back into my basics, just being present of my thoughts, catching myself when I catch myself identifying with things that I identify with, and catching myself when I become irritated at things that are frivolous and don't really matter, and catching myself when I'm in that negative loop thought or loop repetition of thought, and just shining light and just observing it as the silent watcher that is watching my life as it goes by, and what I want to come from this. And this is like a loose want, because I know it will come. Like, let's be for real. But what I want to come from this is that I become back into myself, where I was really living in the present moment, every moment, and I didn't let the worries of other people, I didn't let the expectations of other people, I didn't let how other people live their life affect how I live mine. I was just living life, blowing people's expectations out the water. I was just doing whatever. And I wasn't irritated. I was very joyous and happy. And I'm saying was, like, that wasn't just last week. It's the Pisces in me. But I would like to get back here now. And the only way I can do that is immersing myself into the now and observing my conscious thoughts. And one of the last things I would like to say is I think I touched on this, but I may, I'll be all over the place. That's how I came up with my philosophy, my thing. It's just by being so in the now that I was able to catch the pattern, those subtle patterns of the principles of those numbers and how they played out in each day, and how it pertained to me. And I wouldn't have been able to do that had I not been very extremely present with myself and pick up on those things, because it was extremely subtle. Like, you have to like look for that in order to see that, and in order to put all those together and like view your thoughts, view what's happening outside of you, know that what's happening outside of you is what's happening inside of you. And something else he said in the book is primarily inside, secondarily outside reality. So yeah, like, you got to be super aware what's going on in here to even be aware that what's going on here is a reflection of what's going on in here. So like, and don't get, and like, I'm still observing the philosophy. That's going to be a lifelong type of process until I transform into the next thing. But yeah, I just want to get on here, share my thoughts, share my excitement, and just how it pertains to me, how I'm like, how consciousness flows in and out of everybody, how consciousness flows in and out of me, and just how like I see how really when my inner world is messed up, or I won't even say messed up, but when I'm like restless in here, my outer world gets really irritating, like really quick. But the moment I become like back present, joyous, loving, harmonious, peaceful, all that, my reality outside of me reflects just that. But that shift has to start with me. That shift has to start back with my mental, going back to the present moment and not worried about what happened last week or why so and so said what to me, and why they even had the audacity to even come into my force field. Like, I had to get out of that space. And then I had to also get out of like, okay, well, where am I going? Like, what am I doing? What's my next day to day was gonna look like? I had to get out of that. I had to come back into here. I have to remain here, in the present, in the now. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for sitting here watching this video. I hope y'all have a good evening and a good now.